I'm so tempted to talk with these on the whole time because I'm just feeling myself with them on. It's giving, yeah, that's how cool auntie. She's just with the shits, you feel me? And that's exactly who I am. I'm everybody's cool ass homegirl. And it's giving cool ass homegirl, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, never mind. I decided, why don't I let you guys see my pretty face? Because we're gonna get into some real shit today. And with that said, hi, my name is Sandra. I think I'm on a serious note today, truly. So it's really not Sandra, hey? It's not to say that we're not gonna have fun and that we're not gonna engage and that we're not gonna, kiki and haha. We're gonna kiki and haha. But I think what's really lovely about this platform is the stark differentiation that I'm trying to make between who I am as a musical artist and who I am as a living, breathing person in a flesh suit. And yeah, that's who I am today. That's who I am always, but like, I'm not serving up Sandra today. I'm starving Sandra, okay? That's my full name, okay? Not my stripper name. So get your tea, get your popcorn, get your little sister if you must. Truly, this chat is for everyone. Yeah, let's get into it. The reason why I chose this particular topic as the first video for my Get to Know Me series is because I love Get to Know Me's. That is the reason that I surf YouTube for hours on end. If I fall in love with a YouTuber or I find their content and I'm like scrolling through their videos, I will always be drawn to the Get to Know Me type videos simply because I love to know about people. I love to know about more than just what your name is and where you come from. And I feel like that's information that people already know about me. Shameless plug, if you want to go know what my mom's name is or where I'm from or where I was born, go watch my Sports Scene and Adidas We Can Turn Up episode or any other interview, that I've done with any other publication or like platform when I'm being Sandra. But for now, when I'm just being Sandra at home, like, being a homegirl, I think these kind of stories are important. And yeah, I really do want to share with you guys, especially now that the year is like rounding off and a lot of us are taking stock and account of what it is that we've done, what it is that we haven't done, where it is that we feel like we failed ourselves, where it is that we feel like we've superseded our own expectations. That's something that I debate with a lot mentally and even in my friendship circle. So yeah, get to know me through my failures and successes. Might I add, just while we're on the topic, this is gonna be centered somewhat around academics and like life structure. I think the reason why this also appeals to me is because if or when I ever go back to school, guys, I really would love to study anthropology. I love knowing about human culture, human pattern, human behavior, human society, like human relation, how we relate to each other. I think it's so important. I think it's such an underrated, can I say like it's such an underrated like branch of our human to human interactions. Like we really just need to know about each other more, but we need to know the real, right? I don't want to primp it up and spruce it up so that it's palatable. I'm about to tell you my real story without any shame, without any judgment, simply just to help you get to know me and to help someone who might be in the same situation as me. So now we're gonna get started, I swear. For those of you who don't know, I am a 2-time college dropout, but I'm also a 2-time college graduate. And the journey from that to that was a tumultuous one, a very strenuous one, but a very rewarding one and a super like intensive school of life type learning environment or journey that I had to go through to go from being a 2-time college dropout to being a 2-time college graduate. The reason why I think that that's important story to share is because, like I said, when I was going through the mud, I actually didn't know anyone else who had dropped out of school. I was the only college dropout that I knew. And then I became the only two-time college dropout that I knew. So it really was such a lonely road. It was made out to be something that I should have been ashamed about. But when I look back at it now, in my household and in my family, no one really judges me for that now. But like, did they before? Yeah, because why you not at school? Why your ass not at school? So when I left high school, I knew what I wanted to do. I just didn't know how I was gonna get there. You know, in the hall during your matric year, when there's like UJ in that corner and Wits in that corner, and after Rhodes, you know, there's just a bunch of universities. Despite the fact that there's like humanities courses, no one's handing out pamphlets on how to be a music producer, how to be a vocalist, how to be a Sandra. Like, no one's handing out the pamphlets on how to be a Metro Boomin, how to be a Beyonce. No one is doing that. So I spent my matric year looking forward to matric dance, number one. Like, what am I gonna wear? Who am I gonna take? And also kind of happy that I was gonna leave this system of schooling, but also kind of confused because I'm like, okay, cool. I see that there are avenues and branches, but none of them look like the one that I want to swing on. Like, I'm trying to be on my Tarzan shit and get this shit going, and none of this shit looks appealing. So when I was being asked questions on, okay, where are you gonna go? What are you gonna do? I was like, whew, guys, I don't know. But I also didn't say I didn't know because at that time I didn't have the level of like awareness of self to be sure in my answer of I don't know. So I ended up going with what I thought was right because of public, social, and familial perception. And that cost me and the people around me quite a bit because I ended up dropping out twice. You know, it's so crazy. OMG. When I left high school, like the day that I left matric, bro, I will never forget. I'll never forget. This thing's gonna keep falling and I'm gonna keep fixing it, period. So get used to it. But anyway, the day that I left matric, guys, someone in a younger grade than me, this kid, my junior, was like, Sandra, so what are you gonna do after high school? Like, what's the plan? Like, I was like, bro, I wanna be a musician. And at that time, I don't think that that was a surprising answer because if you went to high school with me, and BP, my girl, my bestie, guys, I was in like every talent show singing my ass off. Wow, okay, this thing needs to secure itself or I need to let it go. It's one of two things. I'm not letting it go. I like this side. Anyway, yeah, I didn't think it was a surprising thing when I told this person that, look, I want to go pursue music. I want to go sing. And he was like, and I was like, oh, is this what happens when I tell people what I want to do? Then I'm not going to tell anyone, dude. I'm actually not going to tell anyone. The confusion of not knowing where it is I could go for what it is I wanted to do, plus the shame and judgment of me telling someone or, you know, my peer, my dream, and them laughing at me, it just made me go like into my shell. So cool, this kid laughs at me. I pretty much from then on decided I'm not gonna really be vocal about what it is that I want to do because it's not taken as a serious career path either, guys. When you tell your Black parent, okay, that you want to pursue a career in music, oh, girl, what? You want to do what? And I'm so glad now that I saw that shit through because I'm so fulfilled and I'm so happy. But again, like, where were the avenues for me to comfortably express that that's what I wanted to do? So I go into my shell and I settle. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't really want to go to school, but I'll go to school. I think another thing is like, nobody caters for the kid who doesn't want to go to school after matric. And I was that kid, guys. Like, as much as there was like pressure and like questions about where you're trying to go and what you're trying to do. And as much as I gave into it, my honest answer was, I don't want to do anything. I've been in the schooling system for 12 whole years, giving you my time, waking up at God knows when to be here on time, relinquishing what little power I have as a human trying to find their way in this world to you as my teacher, as my authority figure, as my parent, as my this, as my that. I literally just wanted time to figure out my life and be on my own by myself. But who caters for kids like me? No one. It's really sad that taking time off from like this worldly structure is seen as something that's negative. Like, so what if I want to do nothing, dude? Like, let me do nothing so that I have enough energy to rejoin society when I'm ready to. Like, whose time am I really working on? You're gonna tell me it's my life, but I can't exercise my rights. Boy. Shop applications are being processed. I'm also getting rejected, which is confusing because they also tell you get a BD pass. For those of you who don't know, also, yeah, matric is grade 12. I think I specified that, but yeah, a BD pass or a bachelor degree pass is like the highest pass you can get in matric or whatever, so that you can go further your education to like your heart's desire or whatever. I get my BD pass, I pass matric well, and I'm still being rejected by university that I don't even want to go to. My boy. But yeah, I finally get accepted to an institution and I go to said institution, and after, I'm sure like 6 weeks, guys, I actually tap out. This is not for me. I'm not making friends because I don't want to, because if you know me, I'm a social ass babe. I will go smile at the people and be like, hey, let's be friends. I'm not having a good time. I think another thing that made me so off going to Skela is I live here and school is there. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I live here and school is here. No, I live here and school is there. How am I making an 8 a.m. class that I don't even want to go to at 8 a.m. when I literally live so far away? The math was just not mathing, so I dropped out. My parents were just like, yuck because you dropped out, number one, but like, yuck because we still have to pay your school fees even though you're not going to the school, because I didn't drop out in time. So do you see how it cost everyone? Because okay, cool, I'm not going there anymore even though I bought the books, registered for the class, blah 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 blah. But it also cost my parents because now she bought the books, registered for the class, and she's not going, and we have to pay. Guys, you see why our parents should listen to us sometimes, just for the sometimes. Like, long story short, the first time that I dropped out was literally because I'm like, you know that video, more passion, more energy. I had no passion, no energy. I had none of it. And I really was just hell-bent on my gap year. And if you know anything about me as a person, if I want something, I'm going to get it. Unfortunately, sometimes it's like by any means necessary. I've learned how to channel that thing, like if I want, I'm gonna get it, and not hurt or damage my environment or my people in the process, because my parents having to pay a full year's fees when I'm not going to school is so damaging, dude. That's racks on racks on racks. Come on. But it's also damaging to not listen to me when I'm saying I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go there. I wasn't looking to forge any real like bonds with anything or my environment simply because I didn't want to be there. In my head, when I go there, I'm like, I know that at 1:15 I'm leaving, and I'm leaving, and I'm not here for anyone, or anything that's just not aiding to my experience as an adult human. I think I had mad frustration from the fact that, okay, cool, I've left high school, I'm 18 years old, I'm being told I'm an adult, but I'm not being treated like an adult. When does my autonomy kick in? When can I actually say I don't want to do something, or I want to do something and I'm actually heard and it's respected? You know what I mean? The rebellion started. The rebel in me was like, burn it to the ground, leave and just go. So I burnt it to the ground, I left, and I went. And I ended up in the, drum roll please, streets of Brom, right? once again. So the thing is, like, for my international babes who don't know about Braam is a section of the inner city in Johannesburg, CBD. What was I doing in the streets of Braam, you might ask? Braam in 2016, culture, 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 baby. I'm sure I haven't been back like really in a while to groove or like be there the way I used to be there, but at that time, it was just, dude, so much was happening. There's so many different people, there's so many different things, and I decided to get involved. I'm like, I like things, let's go. So I end up in Braam and I work at this store. I'm really so weary about about name dropping, whether it's niggas in songs. I don't be saying nobody's name. Let's just keep it at I worked in this store, an apparel and clothing store. Why did I do that? An apparel and clothing store in Braam, okay? Why this is significant is, oh my God, oh my God. I wish this thing could just stay. I really wish. Anyway, why that's significant is because my suburban ass had never been in an environment like that willingly and for an extended period of time. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, all I was used to was the confines of home, school, maybe a friend's house on a weekend sometime, maybe my cousin's house, you know, when there's a family bride. But pretty much my primary and immediate environment was pretty sheltered and pretty safe. And I'm trying to look for words to use, but you understand what I mean. So Braam really for me was like, oh, okay. Look at all these different people. Look at all these different clothes. Look at all these different styles. Listen to all these different conversations. You know, I became a sponge of my environment. And in hindsight, what's really cool is, as much as I had dropped out of school and I was just running the streets pretty much, I was soaking so much from my environment. I was in the school of life. I was thrown into lesson while trying to escape lesson. It's the most interesting little paradox, you know, in hindsight. But pretty much, yeah, I ended up working at this store and just meeting new people and expanding my horizons, agreeing with people, disagreeing with people, seeing new points of view and hearing things that I'd never heard before, seeing things I've never seen before. That's when I was like, okay, the school thing, let's put it on hold for real. I was sure about it, but let's definitely put it on hold so I can keep exploring what life is like. Where else is the babes gonna get street smart if not in the streets? Another thing though, like, as much as I was learning and soaking up my environment, please remember that I was still young and naive, right? I'm 18 at the time, 19, 18. So this is new for you, this is exciting, this is what? But it's also costing me in a sense because I'm not street smart yet. I'm not accustomed to like adult tone and nuance. The adult world is different to like high school kiki haha world. Like, the conversations are different, the context is different, the everything is different. So as much as I had my, what do those people call it? The Amish people, my Rumspringer. Like, as much as I was outside, you know, I was also learning that, oh shit, there's a way to work outside. Like, outside has codes, right? That you must understand. And if you don't understand, don't bother asking anyone because everyone's moving like this, right? It's every man for themselves. And as someone who was so sheltered in high school, guys, in high school, I was so self-conscious. I couldn't go places by myself. I always needed to be holding my friend's hand. I always needed to be like under the supervision of a something or someone that was bigger than me or like more knowledgeable than me. Being in this big bad world on my own, as exciting as it was also like a, okay, Sandra, cute little Sandra, pretty little Sandra, what are we doing? But remember how I said like, it's every man for themselves, like in the streets, and everyone's moving like this. There still will always be those people who stop and hold your hand and who are actually genuine and are like, okay, let's actually go down this alleyway. That one's scary, this one has a little bit more light, or this street is better, or I'm talking super metaphorically now. But yeah, there were people who actually held my hand and guided me and showed me the way. And I didn't really know it at the time, but when I look back now, like I said, I was running away from school only to find myself in the school of life, baby. So cool. 2016 is over. My first gap year is done. I have to come back harder, faster, and stronger, right? Because I wasted people's time. I wasted their money. All that yakety yak in my ear about how I was, you know, somewhat of a failure and how I wasted everyone's time and money led me to do what? To tell them, guys, you know what? I am ready to rejoin society and be a functional member of this structure and this system, and I want to study law. Bitch, why are we capping? But then again, you see, it's because of how society at large was viewing me as someone who wasn't playing their little matrixy game and was now rejoining. I felt the need to amplify myself and my efforts and choose a career path that is well respected and show you that I'm serious. So I went to go study law. And at least this time, I saw the entire year through, right? But did I see it through at school? Yeah, sort of, kind of. But like I said, once again, at this new institution that I went to, which wasn't super far from the last institution I dropped out of, I lived here and school was fucking over there. So the first 3 weeks of any course, I'm like a serious babe. It's like, yes, I'm here with my books. Yes, you can borrow my notes, but why weren't you in class? Like vibes. So cool, I rejoined society. I go back to school in 2017 after my gap year in 2016. I'm serious for the first 3 weeks, and then I find more people. And remember when I said that I like to know about people, I like to know about cultures, I like to know about human difference and human similarity. I find people and I just start talking to people. Basically what I'd come to school to do was maybe catch a class. Like if there is a class in my timetable that I can attend, I would. I had friends who were like, dude, okay, don't just miss class. Like come to class sometimes at least. So I'd go to class sometimes at least. But what I super enjoyed doing outside of class was sitting on the lawns, smoking pot. Okay, Miss America, that's hilarious. I've never said pot in my life. That is a lie. Smoking weed and just engaging with people. If you're a stoner or you smoked weed before, I don't know. The lovely thing about having a conversation when you're blazed is it just bangs on a hana. And remember at that time, I've come from the streets of Braam where I was learning people, learning, you know, who's what and what's what, learning codes. And then you add weed into the mix at this new stage in my life where I also feel like I kind of know things, so I can contribute stuff to the conversation. It's me finding myself. So yeah, I go back to school, but I'm in the school of life again because I'm ditching class to hang out with people so I can learn from them. Now, at this stage of the game, they're up to here with me. They're up to here with me at home. They're like, okay, all you keep doing is wasting our money and then going to school and then wasting our money and then telling us you're tired and then wasting our money. And true as nuts, that's what I was doing. But like I said in the beginning, where are the platforms that are in my face that are telling me, if you want to be a producer, go here. If you want to be a vocalist, go here. If you want to make money from this shit, go here. Nothing. Who's telling the kids that, bro? Maybe they're here now. I will hear, you know, or see more ads about digital music production and composition, you know, and the music business. But back then, it was me, myself, and I, baby. I literally guessed, guys. Another thing that I forgot to add is from high school, like coming from that place where we do everything at the same time and we're at every class at the same time and all our marks are shouted out at the same time. There's something about that environment that made me feel stupid. And I'm not. I wasn't studious in high school. Like I did what I had to do to pass. And pass well, you know what I mean? But that environment still rendered me feeling kind of like incapable mentally. So I skated by in high school via that. Is like I just read the night before. If I'm tired by the time that I'm like approaching another chapter and it's not done, I'm going to bed, bro. I'm not pulling an all-nighter. I was not that person. You can't have that energy in varsity. When the books are this thick and there's like this many books, it requires a little more oomph. And I didn't have that oomph. I was capping and I didn't want to do it. So your girl ends up seeing the year through, but failing dismally. Once again, my rents were just like, didn't you say this is what you want to do? Didn't you say you're rejoining society as a real ass person, that you're going to study law and you can finish LLB and that and that and that and that? And I said, yeah, I did. Or in law, you're not wrong, guys, but I lied again. So cool. They're fed up with me at home, rightfully so. And I'm also kind of fed up with me because I'm like, okay, are we just going to always start things and never finish them? Is that who we are, Sandra? That's kind of scary. That's kind of sobering. That's kind of settling, as we've spent 2-3 years just kind of floating, which when I look at now, I'm so grateful for. But in that moment and in that time, I felt like D for dummy, baby. Because where are my peers also? They're in school. They're in 3rd year. They're in 2nd year. They're, you know, moving on up. You know what I mean? Like everyone else's life is moving according to the what? And mine is, I don't know. At that time, I feel really out of place in society. So I spend my 2nd gap year smoking a shitload of weed and just kind of being down and out. But school of life, baby. What else am I doing at that time? I am singing my heart out. Because why? I'm on a gap year. There's nobody at home. I have the whole house to myself. I would sit down on the corridor floor, sometimes crying, sometimes happy as hell, but basically mimicking the voices of the artists that I love and adore to this day. Once again, that was my learning ground is, okay, cool, I'm not at school formally, but I can teach myself how to sing. And the thing is, I'm not looking at it like that at that time. I'm not thinking, let me actively go learn how to sing and teach myself. No, I am literally just home alone and using my voice because it's what's getting me through. Like, you know those homies in a jail cell and they play this is the harmonica it is, you know, just like it's you, it's a whole lot of time. So what are you gonna do? I was just exploring my talents, seeing what my voice could do, seeing what it couldn't do, seeing how I could get it to do the things that I wanted it to do. And wow, word to my resilience, word to my mind, word to my goals. Like how beautiful that at that time when I was so down and out and thought that I was doing nothing, I was still doing something so big and so great and so grand for myself. So cool. The question comes around again. What are you doing, babe? As much as they were asking me that, it was also a thing of, and are you sure this time? Because and like I said, as much as I was like singing and like figuring out my voice and kind of, I started writing also then. I started writing songs a bit. I also had the time to really just go into the internet and find what it is that I wanted to study. Music production, okay? And I found my institution, I found my place, and something about me inside just knew. Like, shout out my intuition, shout out feelings, guys. Don't only use your mind as a decider or as the compass. Sometimes your feeling is the compass, boy. And when I found the website of the institution that I ended up going to, I just knew. So yeah, they asked me, where you trying to go? I'm sway with the answers. I say, boop. I want to go to boop and study digital music production and composition. And they were like, are you sure? And I said, yeah. And they're like, cool, let's go. And that's another thing. I'd love to thank my mom and my grandmother for. My dad was late by that time. R.I.P. my homie. But yeah, no, shout out to him as well, because music, I mean, he put me on. That's the legend. That's the guy. But for where my journey during school starts now at this time is, as fed up with me as they were still like, dude, go further yourself. Go and expand your knowledge. Go expand your horizons. Go and know more. Go do more. And what lovely hearts to have after all it is that I put them through. Yeah, shout out them. Shout out them for real. They really encouraged me despite their frustrations. They were really just like, girl, go handle, baby, go handle. So cool, 2019 comes around. I get to the institution, I get my student card, and remember, I've done this 2 times before. So there's something about it that feels familiar, but there's something about it that also feels so refreshing, because for the first time, guys, I'm actually sure. And I realize how everything has amounted to this moment. So none of it was in vain. None of my crying was in vain. None of my despair was in vain. None of my confusion was in vain, because had I been in that institution, or those institutions where 4 years or 5 years plus of my time was required, I wouldn't be here right now. If I hadn't dropped out, I wouldn't be here right now. If I hadn't sat and cried, I wouldn't be here right now. If I hadn't had the quiet time to sit and actually research what it is I want to do and where it is I want to be, I wouldn't be here right now. So it was all worth it. I went to school every day. I don't think I missed class. And if I did, I probably had a good ass reason, but I don't recall now at this stage of the game in the institution that I'm happy at and where I'm excelling. I don't recall missing a day of class. I remember waking up every single day and just being like, yo, I'm blessed, I'm alive, I'm going to do what I love, and I'm surrounded by other people who are doing what they love, and we're all in this environment. And that's word to energy one more time. I thrive in environments where other people are also doing good. That's why parties are nice, is because we're all of the understanding that we're here to have a good time. So with this last and final institution that I chose, is everyone was of the understanding that I'm here to excel, I'm here to have a good time, I'm here to relate to people, I'm just here to be, and that's exactly what it was. Then that's also when I learned that the reason that I wasn't excelling in those previous institutions is because my learning style is different. I cannot learn in a class filled with 500 niggas, like 500 plus. There's 7-11 of us in here. No, dude, I can't. I'm sitting over there and the lecturer is there. Not for me. How did I realize that though? By being in a classroom full of 30 people where I can get individualized attention and where the environment isn't so daunting, where I can actually feel comfortable to raise my hand up and ask questions. You know what I mean? My perceived failure had something to do with the fact that my learning style was just not being accommodated for at these previous institutions. Took such a weight off, because I'm like, yeah, then it wasn't just my fault, dude. It wasn't anybody's fault. I just needed to take the time and the journey to learn that this is what I needed. And how beautiful is that? I think another thing that makes me just smile when I think about the institution that I graduated from was the course material was so up my alley. My first assignment was, okay, you're in studio with Rihanna. She wants a beat. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What's a real nigga gonna do? And I did what a real nigga does, brother. Another thing, okay? I was one of 5 girls in my class because production is a boys' sport. It was Father's Day. Daddy daycare, okay? But was anything stopping your girl at this point? No, because what? I had taken the time to figure out who I am as a person and what it is that I'm here for. My self-confidence was on 10 billion because I had been through the motions of being rejected, feeling like a failure, feeling like, and now I was up again. You know, I was ready to rumble. What else? I just was not going to be intimidated by an environment that I was also prepared to be in. And that's the thing, is if I hadn't gone through the wire, I was not going to be prepared for this. It's because I went through the shite, the absolute darkness and confusion, that I was able to stand there and be like, cool, let's go. Let's do this. I'm one of 5 girls. That's not going to stop me from doing anything. That's not going to intimidate me from actively participating in this space and really being a player. That's not gonna make me want to sit down and shy away. No, 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 no. I'm them boys, we them boys. I'm there. So cool. I do my, was it like 9 months, the course? My digital music and production. It's always such a mouthful. My mom always also gets so excited when I say, she's like, what did you study? What are you a graduate in? I'm like, I am a digital music production and composition graduate, baby. Which is something I'm so proud of, which is something that I don't think a lot of people know about me. So yeah, to add to that, like I said, on the topic of my mom as well, is no one at home is out here shaming me for my journey either. Like, as much as I frustrated everyone with my loop-de-loop of confusion and just like, I don't know what I'm doing, as much as they were annoyed, and rightfully so to a degree, they were still patient, and they are so proud of me now. I have a video on my Instagram of my mom at my Keep the Peace listening party this year, where she's actually just singing my praises, bro. I think I'll put it at the end of this video, literally just for vibes, because what I love is that no one held my journey against me, even though in the moment it was kind of confusing, and we did wrestle and tussle. Where I stand today and for where I sit today, niggas is proud of me, and I'm proud of me too. I'm really not the type of bitch that's trying to be at school for 4 years or 5 years. No, please no. Take me to community college, okay? I just really want to pick up the skill, be able to do it and go forth and prosper. Not all of us are built for that system. So if it's not working for you, don't do it. Don't do it, don't do it. I'm an advocate for go to community college. Go to the small little college that's like up the road from your house, because it has a thing that you want to specialize in, and all you need is 9 months. Work for me. Anyway, yeah, I graduate from digital music production and composition, big purr, and I tell my parents I want to go to school again, and I went on to study the music business. That for me just solidified everything from the year before that I had learned, and then everything it is that I saw myself going forth and doing. Like I said, remember, there's no one handing out brochures on how to be a music industry professional, or at least at that time they weren't. So for me to solidify my studies and my passion and my talent, that's another thing, is like, you think you can just go off the talent and the passion and the, you know, the skill that you've learned at home on the floor during your gap year singing Beyonce. Yeah, that's all good and well, but this is still a game. There's still money involved. There's still structures involved. So go and learn what an A&R is supposed to do. Go and learn what your talent manager is supposed to do. Go and learn what a booking manager is supposed to do. Go and learn about publishing. Go and learn about masters. What does that word mean? They're thrown around, all these terms all the time, but like, do you really know what they mean? And that's the question I was asking myself. So I'm like, let me go learn what they mean, bro. I really want to play this game. I really want to pursue this career path. I really want to excel and be Sandra. Then I'm going to take every necessary step to learn every facet of this beautiful thing that I've been gifted with, my voice, and learn how to push it, how to make it become something so grand and so real, and how to play the game also. Guys, to know the game, you gotta play that game, okay? And we all know how the music industry can be. We all hear about artists dying broke. We all hear about artists being scammed. We all hear about, did you read the contract? Oh, you should have, you know what I mean? Like, learning that and solidifying my passion and my talent through formalizing my love for music, I would really go back and do it again. I really would. So after all that confusion, all the glory and the guts, I sit here today as a 26-year-old looking back on everything, and I'm just like, I wouldn't have wanted it to be any other way. I would have appreciated maybe like a little bit of guidance, someone to talk me through what the journey of life and being confused as an adult fresh out of high school is like, trying to get into music and recording artistry, but I wouldn't change a thing. I really wouldn't. I'm so proud of my story, and I'm so proud of my journey. I won't sit here and be like, you know, if anyone would have told me that like in 2023 I'd have, how many projects do I have out for real this time? Eating good, keep the peace, laws of the jungle. Yeah, if anyone would have told me that in 2023 you're gonna be Sandra with 3 H's, you're gonna have 4 projects out, that's 8. You're gonna have 4 projects out, and you're gonna be signed to Soul Distro, and you're gonna work with Nash, and you're gonna be, you know, socializing and fraternizing with your industry peers, I would have been like, yeah, makes sense, adds up. I've always seen myself in this position, and I see myself going much further. So I think that's also the added part of it, is like, despite the confusion, I still stayed true to my vision, not my mom's, not my granny's, not my peers, not my cousins, not my little brothers. I stayed true to my vision, like, despite how scary and like unsure and uncertain that this shit was, I still saw myself doing what I do now, and here I'm doing it. I did not see myself thriving in corporate. I want to have green hair on a Wednesday just because I want to. I want to be able to tap my neck. I want to have a million trillion tattoos and wear bangles on my arm, you know. I want to be able to wear whatever it is I want to wear to my work. I'm not gonna give up just because the world is telling me that this is the more accurate path. It's no shade to people who are in corporate doing what it is that they need to do. For me though, personally, I did not see myself fitting in there. So where I'm going with this is the amount of people that I have met on my way, and even now, being able to go to work, studio, whatever, you know, or like listening parties. Like, listening parties are these skew? Yeah, anyway. I love that my work is fun and it's rewarding in a people sense. And that just goes back to what I said in the beginning, is people are my passion. Being able to touch people's lives with my words. Do you know how, I even want to say like groundbreaking it is for me to open DMs and see people singing my praises and have it not go to my ego, but have it go to my heart, because you're telling me that the songs that I wrote in my bedroom when I was crying or when I was happy are the soundtrack to, or the soundtracks, sorry, to your life experiences as well. Like, I'm this far away, you're this far away, but like, we're together and we're connected. No other journey was gonna give me the context and the content that I have to write the songs that I do. I had to live my life. Do you understand what I'm saying? To be Sandra, to be this person, I had to be where I was, when I was, and not wanted to change. That's exactly where I needed to be, was on the couch, sad as hell, getting the material for the sauce that I write now. And that's just on alignment, guys. Wherever it is that you are now, wherever it is that you may find yourself now, that's where you're supposed to be. There's absolutely nothing wrong with where you are now, even if your brain is telling you that. And if you feel like there is, the only way to change that is through tiny incremental steps. You're not gonna change in one day. Okay, tell me, when you were 3 years old, did you magically shoot to 18, or did it take a couple of years for you to, you know, let me rather say this. Let me rather say this. Time is a beautiful thing. Imagine you baking a cake, you whipping it up. Fieri, you're in the kitchen, you a magician. You put the cake in the oven. You take it out after 5 minutes. Is it ready, dog? Is it ready? No, it's just gonna be like a half ready, kind of mushy, kind of, nah. You gotta let it bake. Those 20 minutes are crucial for a reason. Otherwise, it's not a cake, you feel me? So are you trying to be a cake, or are you trying to be like a flop? To round it up, you're not failing, dude. You're not a failure. I'm speaking to me who's looking back at me right now, and I'm speaking to you who's looking at me right now. You are not a failure. Just because your life isn't going according to your perceived timeline of what success should look like, or what your mom says, your dad says, your uncle, your aunt, your cousin, your grand, whoever, the world at large, you are the only one who can clearly see, and feel what it is that you know you want for yourself. I keep remembering things, but I'm not going to leave without saying this thing. As much as I've painted this as a very solo journey, simply from the point of my perspective, as much as I've painted this as a journey solely from my perspective, I just wanted to be known that I have not done anything alone. Or as much as I've done, let me rather rephrase it like this. As much as there's periods where I've had to be alone and figure shit out on my own and do stuff by myself, there have been equal amounts of times where I needed help and there were people. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I didn't ask for help and people helped me like spontaneously, miraculously, because shout out the universe. The universe can see more than I can and is privy to, you know, where it is that I should be, who it is that I should be around. Like, follow your instinct, and when your instinct leads you to people who are meant to be part of your journey, you'll know it, you'll feed it. Like I said, don't just use this guy. Open him and use him. He's as good as this guy. Let them work in tandem. Yeah. The basis of this add-on is I didn't just do shit by myself. I don't just do shit by myself. There's a bunch of people who help me think, who help me coordinate, who help me make things extra spla, who, you know, like, you will find your people. You will find your people. If you feel alone right now, don't worry. There's nothing wrong with being by yourself. There's nothing wrong with figuring things out on your own, but trust that you won't always have to. There's always someone around the corner. So yeah, I think I'm done, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that when I drop videos you can be alerted same time. Yeah, this is me following my dreams. See you in my next video. I love you. Bye.